Hey everyone, so today I decided to look at the next chapter of the documents of Vatican II. And so the chapter for today I got to covering, this one is on the dogmatic constitution of the Church, Lumen Gentium. So Lumen Gentium is basically the Church's own self-understanding of itself in the world. That's what it tries to cover. And there were three drafts to this. The first one was in 1962. The second one was in 1963, after John the 23rd died. That's our Pope. And then we had Pope Paul the Sixth come in, and then we had a third draft of it which came out. So basically the final draft was 1964. And the reason is they had to have three drafts was with the first one, the Bishop Schmidt in Belgium accused the draft of triumphalism, so being a pompous and romantic vision of the Church that overlooks its flaws, clericalism, seeing the Church as a pyramid with the Pope on top and lay people on the bottom, which is not what the Church should be, and then juridicalism, an obsession with rules and overlooking the spiritual dimension. So that's why we had to go on to the second draft. And the bishops gathered, they discussed the documents, and then they move on to the second draft. So they looked at the mystery of the Church, the hierarchy of the bishops, the people of God, which is us, the laity, and the call to holiness. So they went from the Church militant to the Church as mystery. And that's what we cover in here. That's what it looks at. The documents themselves are very beautifully written. I would encourage you to go online. If you have access to the internet, you can read it there, or you can get the book. I've got the book. So now and again I do go back and I do read the documents just to refresh myself and to be grounded in my faith. That's what I do. It covers the images of the Church, so the Church of the Trinity, that's what we believe, the 3 in 1, and then images in the Church, like the seed and the beginning of the kingdom, and how that seed will grow and it will sprout, it will cover the whole earth. And we see it as a visible society and a spiritual community. So we are a community of faith. We're not like a business. A business is supposed to be a community, but most of the time it's run like a military. And we look at the new Israel, the people of God. So we are joined to Christ, and we are the prophetic witness to Christ. We have the sense of faithful. So I would encourage you to get the documents, to read them, to become familiar with the different hierarchy in the Church, the bishops, the deacons, the work that they do. It covers the episcopate and what we stand for, and our call to holiness as lay people. It's not only for the religious, it's for us in our daily lives. And it covers various groups, so priests, bishops, ministers, married couples, parents, widows, single people, and those who suffer. And the way we respond to the call is through love, through being loving people, and through our communities. They also looked at the Blessed Virgin Mary and her role in our Church, her relationship to the community of believers, and her role as first among the disciples. So they wanted Mary to be included on the document of the Church. And for me, I have a devotion to Saint Joseph and to Mother Mary. And I think that's something that is precious to me. I carry it with me. It's something that came out of these documents of Vatican II and the teaching of the Church. And then there's just some questions here that are given for reflection. So from Lumen Gentium 5 to 7, what images of the church resonate with you? Why? Think of one concrete controversial issue in the church today. What does your position on this issue say about your vision of the church? Then Lumen Gentium 1 and 9, are you drawn more to the model of the church as a people of God or church as communion? Are you drawn more to chapter 1 or chapter 2 of Lumen Gentium? Explain why and how you see them. And then Lumen Gentium 37, what are the areas of church life in your own parish or diocese that call for greater collaboration? What are the areas where you see a successful collaboration taking place? So for us in this Jubilee year, we are people journeying together, and we do have holy doors in Toronto at the Basilica, and I want to do that one of these days. I have a whole year, so I want to go through those holy doors and carry out the steps for making that pilgrimage here in Toronto. I'm lucky because I don't have to go to Rome. I don't even have the money to go to Rome, so I'm fortunate I can do it here in Toronto. And then Lumen Gentium 12, 25, and 35. How do we know where the church is united in belief? What teachings do you see as essential to the faith? How does the reciprocal model described above function correctly? How should it function? And then Lumen Gentium 39 and 48, it asks us to compare chapters 5 and 7 of the document, and how does it handle the question of sin and the church? Do you find the distinction between the holiness of the church and the holiness in the church helpful? Why or why not? So those are good questions for us to take with us, to reflect on, and to carry with us. Because we are all fallen people. We are all people who sin. We are all people who need God's mercy and forgiveness. And all of us are called to holiness. And we start over, we make mistakes, but God in His mercy always accepts us back. And we can either turn away from that love of His, or we can turn towards it. It depends on us and what we want to do, how we want to approach it. So that's the document I wanted to cover. I'm not going to read it verbatim, word for word. You can always get the book and you can go through it. And I enjoyed learning about that and how the church changed. And then for the scripture, I think the scripture for me that I think resonates with that document, it's Isaiah 42. It's about Christ being the servant that is upheld, the chosen one in whom God's soul delights. I have sent my spirit upon him. He will bring fair judgment to the nations. He does not cry out or raise his voice. His voice is not heard in the street. He does not break the crushed reed, nor snuff the faltering wick. Faithfully he presents fair judgment. He will not grow faint. He will not be crushed until he has established fair judgment on earth. And the coasts and islands are waiting for his instruction. Thus says God Yahweh, who created the heavens and spread them out, who hammered into shape the earth and what comes from it, who gave breath to the people on it, and spirit to those who walk on it. I, Yahweh, have called you in saving justice. I have grasped you by the hand and shaped you. I have made you a covenant of the people and a light to the nations, to open the eyes of the blind, to free captives from prison, and those who live in darkness from the dungeon. I am Yahweh, that is my name. I shall not yield my glory to another, nor my honor to idols. See how the former predictions have come true. Fresh things I now reveal. Before they appear, I tell you of them. So it's that first part for me. And then there's the song of victory that comes after that from 10 to 15. But that's the song of the servant. And when we say servant, we don't mean slave. It's not like that. It means that we are under God's household and we are serving unto God. And God is like the king. And all of us are in the church together. And that was one of the things that Pope Francis also continued to bring in, that our Pope is not up there and we are not down here. We are in a community of believers. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I read the chapter today, and I like the documents. They were very exciting documents, and they still are if you read them.